All right. I'm excited to be able to announce this partnership, and you're going to want to tune in for this one. Find out why this amazing person who decided to join and partner with us here at the Good Home Team, she's going to take you on her journey. In the last 3 years as a brand new agent, sold over 150 houses. Yes, 150, over 150 houses in the last 3 years. You're going to find out why she decided to partner with us here at the Good Home Team. We're going to get started right now. All right. Welcome. Hope you're having a great week. And I'm super excited. And I'm always excited to announce new partnerships. But this one's super special because this person whom I'm going to announce to my left here, depending on which way you're watching this, but this is literally to my left. I've been talking to her for a hot minute. And this person was the number 2 producing realtor in her MLS in her area, and had sold over 150 houses in her first 3 years of being a real estate agent. And so we're going to go on a journey, and we're going to find out, number one, how did she get started in this business? How did she find her success? The roadblocks and obstacles that she went through, because we all go through this. And then what made her become open-minded and eventually saying yes to the opportunity to partnering with us here at the Good Home Team. And then I want to hear her experience so far. So I'm super excited to announce Monica Kelley has joined us here. And Monica, you partnered with us. How long? Has it been 2 months now?
Yep.
Okay.
December 23rd.
December 23rd. And, you and I started talking. How long ago was that?
Probably about 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And you were introduced to me through a close friend of ours, Chauncey Pham.
Mm-hmm.
And you started following our journey, and I would then slide into your DMs
Mm-hmm.
and just ask how business was going, and you would share all the success you were having.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you would always ask questions, and we would just kind of go back and forth. And I would always hit you with hey, when are you going to partner with us here at EXP? It wasn't necessarily partnering with us here at the Good Home Team at the time, but take us through your journey as a brand new agent, right? What were you doing before that? What led you to becoming an agent? And then ultimately, where did you get that success from in the beginning?
Okay. Thank you for having me, first of all. So before I was a licensed real estate agent in the state of Texas, I was working for the state of Texas as a childcare licensing investigator. So I did that, I want to say, for 5 years. But actually wanting to get into real estate goes back to when we purchased our first home. I absolutely fell in love with the process. I guess now it's been 17 years because it was 14 years when I started. I waited a very long time to be able to do this. And so my oldest son, who's 22, he always tells me, Mom, if you would have started, 14 years ago, you wouldn't be as successful as you are now because of the things that you have done in the community. So people know you. And just hearing him tell me that, it just kind of, a light bulb just kind of went off like, okay, Tyler, you're making sense. I guess you're right. But I started when COVID hit. So it's been an amazing journey. But along the journey, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. You get tired.
Yep.
And so that's what happened. I got tired, and I was like, okay, I'm tired. And for the first time, I heard someone say, it's okay to ask for help. And me being as strong as I am and not, you can't fail, Monica, you can't fail. I actually asked for help, and I got it. And it's been amazing.
I love that. And then so before we get into that part, and I don't want to fast forward because your story and journey is amazing. So, and your son's right that, you had 14 years of being able to give back and just build your name in the community. Mm-hmm. First off, what community are you a part of?
I am a part of the Texarkana, Texas and Arkansas community.
Texas and Arkansas. So how many people in that radius are we talking about?
Oh, God. I don't know. I have no idea, Nick,
Okay.
to be honest with
Okay.
you. I hate to say I know it's probably greater than 100,000
Okay.
people that are there. But yeah. And we have little small microplexes is what I mean, micro cities around, so you have Wake Village, you have Nash, you have Hooks, you have DeKalb, New Boston, Sims, Fouke, Genoa. There's so many little towns that are surrounded around the big city, Texarkana.
Yeah. And we just looked it up. It's about 145,000. So you're right. Okay. That was a test you passed.
Yay.
So you do know your area very well. And while that is large, it's not as large as the Dallas-Fort Worth area, right? So 145,000, you can make a small pebble makes a big, makes a big, wave.
Right.
And so from that, you got into real estate. Your first year was the COVID year, right?
Yes. And I only had 6 months. So I took my test, passed, became licensed on June the 23rd. It was crazy. I was just in the kitchen cooking breakfast, and you just really don't know what to do. I knew that I was going to hang my hat with CB, and CB, that is the only real estate company that I have ever used. With our first house, we used CB. With our second house, we used the same agent with CB. And so there was no question that I was going with blue and white. And it's crazy because those are my high school colors.
Yeah.
So, started out, and I mean, literally, I was in the kitchen one morning cooking breakfast. I didn't know what to do. The only thing that I remember in real estate school was don't go to jail. Don't do this, you will go to jail, So that's kind of basically all I remembered. And I was just in the kitchen cooking my favorite breakfast one morning, some bacon and smothered potatoes and eggs and biscuits. And the phone rung. And I had reached out to Zillow, and I paid for leads at that time. And they called, and the couple, I saw them at Local Luna a couple of weeks prior to. My son was attending Louisiana Tech at the time, and Tommy had on this hat. It was a Louisiana Tech hat. And I just looked at him, and all I said was, "Go Dogs." I don't know this man from Adam. And so we started talking, and I told him my son was in the football program there, and he got his engineer degree there. And so that phone call that came through Zillow came from Tommy and his wife. Crazy. And so when I showed up to show them the house, when they first called, I'm like, don't say the wrong thing. Don't say the wrong thing, because I'm a new agent. So I'm shaking. And so I got the call, and I called my broker, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I just got this phone call, and they want to see this house." And they're like, "Okay, are they pre-approved?" You go through all the steps, all the things that you hear. And I mean, this is like within days of me getting my license. And so met them out to see the house. They put an offer in on the house. We got it accepted. I turned around and listed their house and sold their house in less than 24 hours. And I mean, it just has been rolling ever since. But it's crazy how that bulldog cap and me just being kind and speaking to people and being myself, because I love to talk to people, turned into a transaction where I had a 3-part transaction in one day. So when I got my first commission check, I had made over half of my salary that I was making all year long with the state.
And were you still working for the state at the time?
I was still working for the state at the time. I will say I probably stayed with the state another 30 days. And I literally picked up the phone and called my ex-husband at the time. And I said, "Hey, listen, Daddy told you almost 20 years ago that if you couldn't take care of me, to just send me back home." And I am literally putting in my, resignation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had taken our baby boy. The football team was all testing positive for COVID. So I took my baby boy to get tested. He was negative. I was positive. And I had absolutely no symptoms. But after I was tested positive, that's when my sense of smell left and my sense of taste. And so I called my supervisor, and I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that I have COVID, and I'm not coming back." And she was like, "Oh, okay. So you're going to be gone for 2 weeks? You can still work from home." I said, "No, I'm not coming back." Like, I was determined that I was not going back. And I mean, it just took off from there. I never went back to the state, never collected another paycheck. The little money that we had in our retirement, that we were getting, I just took that and I cashed it out and I put it towards marketing. And that's what I did. And just started building my business from there.
So you get a client within your first couple of days, and that COVID year was something that no one's ever experienced before.
Absolutely.
And which is a blessing for new agents and also a curse.
Absolutely.
Right. Walk me through. You joined at the time Coldwell Banker, blue and white, and your old high school colors and your alma mater colors. Walk me through, what type of training had you gone through, or did you even have time to pour into training into yourself?
I absolutely had no time. Absolutely had no time, because it was like I posted on social media, I'm a real estate agent, share here, like here, share a comment here. I mean, it just went crazy. I would always show up for our Tuesday meetings. But none of that made sense to me, because I was a new agent and I was so focused on, oh my God, am I gonna pass or am I gonna fail? Am I gonna pass? I mean, it's like sink or swim at this point, because you've already quit your job. And so I just focused on listening to what I was receiving on my Tuesday morning meetings, and then applying that to everyday life. I was the different agent. I was the agent that came out of the bag with social media marketing. And I've had people tell me in the city, we didn't even know that Coldwell Banker existed in Texarkana. We didn't even recognize any agents posting like you post on social media. So I just kept going. I just kept posting those graphics, posting content. And I absolutely hate video. I don't like it. I do not like talking in front of people. I don't, but I like to talk. So eventually I had to get on board with a little bit of video marketing. But yeah, I mean, I just showed up to those Tuesday meetings, and then here you go, agent of the month, agent of the month, agent of the month, agent of the month. And I just kept growing.
And what was your mindset during that time, right? So you come out and you're having success right away. And you don't know what you don't know, because you just, all you felt was success and success, and you're marketing, you're buying some leads. You're probably starting to get recognized around town, and starting to get maybe some referral business or sphere business, that people that know you from just, you're from that area, correct? Right. So was there any type of challenges or that you started to see, or cracks in your business that concerned you, or was it was all gas, no brakes at that time?
It was all gas, no brakes. And I'll be honest with you, it has been all gas, no brakes up until September of last year. And that's when I felt like I hit a brick wall. I've always had at least 4 to 5 closings. One month I had 10 closings. That's the highest number of closings that I've ever had. And when you go from having at least 4 closings, because I always pray, God, just give me 1 closing a week. That's 52 a year. That's all I ask for, God. And so let's back up a little bit. When you come from not seeing this money and you start seeing this money, you get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. And so for me, in September, when I came back from my cruise, my phone just stopped ringing. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It's going to circle back around. And it just seemed like it didn't circle back around. And I actually looked at the calendar, because I keep everything in my phone. People ask me, what CRM do you use? Someone called me last night from Atlanta, Georgia. She follows me on social media. And we had an hour and 45-minute conversation about our businesses. And we're both top producers. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. If she passed me in the hallway, I may say, hey, is that you? Or she may say, hey, is that me? We just follow each other on social media. And so we talked about how you just get going. And she's at the point as to where I was in September. And I told her, I said, you need to join a team like now. Don't wait, because you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to want to touch it at all. Yeah. So we had that conversation.
But before we go to the team part of this, right? I'm fascinated by people's journeys, especially when they have success right out of the gate. And I always have a wish for people to not have success right out of the gate, because I think that it actually stunts their business building growth, right? And we actually learn more from our failures than our wins.
Right.
And during that COVID year, I saw a lot of it to where everyone thought the music was never going to stop.
That was me.
And they were spending money. They weren't saving. They weren't investing it in a business. And when I hear you're like, oh, I don't have the CRM, and now you do. And I shudder to hear that, because, we like to think of ourselves as business owners,
Right.
entrepreneurs.
Right.
And in all reality, we're not.
No,
we're
not.
just marketers, marketers and salespeople.
Marketing that specializes in real estate.
Exactly. And we wish and we hope that we can come out of the gate and be busy 5 to 10 closings a month. People are hearing this right now, and they're like, I would love to have 5 to 10. I would love to have 2
Absolutely.
to 3 closings a month. And then you start to get it. Walk me through, you're having 5, 10 at the most, but 5 closings a month. What was life like?
Oh, I was on an all-time high.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just every day. I mean, wake up, even in the middle of the night. Oh my God, did I send this amendment? Did I do this? Did I do that? I mean, look, it literally, it was the best time that I can honestly say I've had in my life outside of raising my boys up to be young men.
Did it consume you?
Absolutely.
Did it consume you? Is that in a healthy way or unhealthy way?
It was very unhealthy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Very unhealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was healthy because I've never had this before.
Yeah.
So now that I'll tell you, like I've shared with everybody else, this second time that I got COVID, I thank God I got it because it put me on my back to stop me to realize you're doing this wrong. It's all wrong.
Yeah.
What you've been doing, God has shown me what he can do, but he needs to slow me down just a minute for me to realize he can do more than that if I just do what he tells me to do.
It's following a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And back then there was no plan, right? It's like we say, all gas, no brakes. And we're just trying to avoid hitting pedestrians or other cars or running into the wall.
Yeah.
And now you hit the wall, right?
I hit
September
the wall.
2023, you hit the wall, phone stops ringing. Go take me from the highs of all those closings to how did it get when all of a sudden that fear set in about business slowing down and stopping?
So the fear set in for me in September when I noticed that I didn't have a closing for October. I only had a closing in November because the one from October went over to November. And then in December, I had 2. And then it was around the end of December that I did get COVID. And once I hit COVID, it seems like in January, that's when I'm like, oh my God, a lot can happen in just a short period of time. I think I got 5 at that point under contract. And it wasn't that I was doing anything. They were all my listings.
Yep.
So let's talk about listings for a minute. Listen, I am having to call these. I have 15 on the market. I have to call these sellers every week with the same story, just on a different day. It is hard out here right now. And so you really have to, you have to be tough. This is not easy. I know we get on Facebook and social media and you see all the glitz and glam, a closing here, closing there, everybody's smiling, but it's hard right now. It's very hard right now.
And you're allowing people, and I want people to really understand this, is you're allowing people to peek behind the curtain, where even your social media, I mean, you do share a lot, right? You share the good, the bad, the ugly,
absolutely,
already, but to really peek behind the curtain and say, you know, oh, Monica's super successful, she's making all this money, and then all of a sudden we don't share about the September fears of all right, since September you had those only 3 closings, and you still have other bills coming in, right? As you know, you build it as a business, but we don't run it as a business.
Right.
The expenses come in like a business, but we don't bring the revenue in like a business.
Absolutely.
And I really, you know, what we look for here in partnering with agent partners like yourself is we have the ability to get to pour into, you know, amazing, talented people like yourself that's ready for a change.
Absolutely.
Right. You know, not to make this about me. My journey was similar, other than I didn't have the success out of the gate, but I built a really successful, massive business. I got divorced because of it. When I got remarried, I had to learn how to, you know, try to make this a not a 24/7 consume me type deal that it can happen to all of us. And then to then build leverage and then run it profitably, where we see people go and join teams or they start a team. And a lot of times those teams or even small brokerages are not making money, right? They're acting like they do, but in all reality, it's all about ego. Right. And ego holds us back from either joining a team, and I want you to share about that in a second. And ego also holds us back from making the right financial decisions for us, because
Absolutely.
we do have to go backwards temporarily to go a lot further forwards.
Absolutely.
And, when I partnered with Place, when I brought the Good Home team over, I had the same feelings that everyone else does when they join a team. My split, by the way, is the same as every other agent. My profit split is actually, when I look at profit, I'm like, someone hit me up last night and we were sharing how you were talking to a top producer. I had an agent hit me up and they're like, hey, how are you liking Place? I was like, it's amazing. It's no coincidence. We had our best year as a team ever in the history of our company since 2009. And it was one of the worst real estate years, but we had our best. And I was like, what do you think? She's like, I didn't like the splits. I was like, I'm just saying, I have a formula for myself and for my agent partners to have their best year and then one of the worst real estate years ever.
Yeah.
Again, I believe that God has led us to certain places, and I believe that there's a path and a plan. And take me through with your ego, right? We all have it, so it's not a negative. What did you think about joining a team?
Man, let me just tell you, like I said, I heard someone say it's okay to ask for help. And let me tell you, I typed that message to you and I deleted it. And I typed that message to you and I deleted it. And I just said, I'm going to send it. And so I sent it. And it's like, y'all just came and you're like, all right, let's just hop on a call and let's talk about it. But my first 6 months in the real estate, I sold 21 houses. The next full year, I sold 56. And my broker has never given out International President's Elite Award with CB in Texarkana. And I received that award. Then the following year, I sold 63 houses. So I'm on a high, right? Nothing's going to stop Monica because I am steady increasing and that's what I want to do. And so then the following year, I left CB and went to another brokerage. And when I went to that brokerage, things were going well. It's a cloud-based brokerage as well, but I'm the only agent in the area. And that's when I started feeling alone. I started feeling alone and I'm like, all right, let me try to join a team. So I tried to join teams with that brokerage, but I was producing more than those teams. And so I'm like, here's my motto. And it's very profound and it's very elementary. I'm this big fish in this little pond, and I can't stay here because I need to figure out how to jump, as Steve Harvey say. And I'm just like, I can't do it here. I can't do it here. I have to tap into a whole nother market to be able to jump. And so last year I ended with 45. And like I said, when I hit that brick wall, I was like, all right, this is it. This is your time. But by the time I got to you, I was exhausted mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically. Like I'm just now starting to come back. And so I've been in that place before in my life and I didn't, recoup that fast, but I was able to this time. And I'm like, okay, the sun is starting to shine again, and it will put you in a bad spot. So,
and I want you to share in a second what you shared on our team meeting last week, where you're like, all right, I understand this team now. I get it. And what I'm hearing is like, when most people come and join us, they're in the same spot. Maybe they didn't do the production. Maybe they were brand new and they got, they rode the hopium and that excitement wave of coming in, and they thought they were going to crush it, and they got pounded by the reality that this is a tough business, dog eat dog world, and they come to us battered, beaten, bruised, mentally defeated, no confidence, and that's our job to come in and surround them and build them and put the systems and tools in front of them. And what I always say is like, and Ben Kinney shared this the other day, is like, look, and he said it in a lot more vulgar way that I won't share on your interview here, but he's like, we're not here to do it for you.
Right.
We're going to do it with you.
Right.
And I'm going to share my goal that hopefully becomes your goal, because I do believe that everything you've shared with me, I believe that this is something that you're really wanting. And if you're in Texarkana and you're hearing this, I'm going to tell you to reach out to Monica, right? I'm going to look at it this way for a second. Reach out to Monica, get in her world, because what she is building and what we are building there with her is something that's going to withstand, sustain, grow, and be something very special in that area. And it's designed for Monica, for you, to build a legitimate business.
Right.
Because you have something to give back to people, and they need to hear this. They need to learn from you. Because there's a lot of agents that get in this business, they're filled with hope, and their dreams get crushed. And they just needed the right person to show them that path.
Absolutely.
And it could change their world. When I joined and partnered with Place, I had a successful business. I had a successful everything, right? I had a tragic event happen in October 21 that changed some things. I came and talked to Ben Kinney, one of the founders of Place, and I actually had a close to 30-minute call with him yesterday. And what we're doing here at Place is changing lives for our agents so that the agents can go and change lives for their clients.
Right.
And our motto at Place is delivering the dream of home ownership. Right? Think about this in your town. How many people would their world, their family trajectory be changed if you could help them get out of renting?
Absolutely.
To owning a house, to building some equity and some wealth, and then you coming in and your agent partners in Texarkana with us there start to show how to then go and use that wealth to go buy rental properties and investment properties. Just one a year, by the way.
Right.
And then in 10 years, they have 10 rental properties. How do you think their lives and their families' lives would be changed?
I mean, considering the fact that the last time I checked, the average salary in Texarkana is $28,000 a year. That will knock the socks off for a lot of families, for my own family.
Yep.
You know, I tapped into the flipping side of it, and my goal is to buy 2 properties a year starting next year. I need to get out of what I'm in right now, and the Good Home team is going to help me do that. But once I get out of that, I mean, it's game on. You know, how do I build my portfolio versus me just taking, for the last 3.5 years, I've just been taking money and just blowing it. And I'm not necessarily saying blowing it. I'm saying putting it back, but it's not gaining any equity is what I'm saying. So how do I get there?
How do we make your money go to work while you're
How
sleeping?
do I make my money work while I'm sleeping?
While you're sleeping. And that's something that's, you know, our job, you know, I could shut everything down and go sell houses and my investments and be fine. Right. I do this to help the Monicas, you know, our other agent partners out there to go build wealth, because it is something that once you experience it, just like once you experience the right team. And my belief is that, you know, number one, my belief is the way that real estate brokerages are going, that the team platforms that the Good Home team is a part of is going to be the dominant player in helping agents deliver the dream of home ownership, of wealth building, of whatever that real estate need is.
Right.
And I truly fundamentally believe that Place is going to be the number one company in the US helping deliver that dream to our clients. And with that, my goal is to then deliver the dream of wealth building to our agent partners.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, you joined us in December 23rd, right? You came to us broken, tired, feeling crazy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We had some, you hit me with some crazy late night messages.
Yes.
That I had to bring it in.
Yes.
And you said last week on the call that on our team meeting, you're like, I finally get it.
I finally get it.
What is it that you got that makes sense about partnering with us, and what makes you excited about where we're going with you?
I remember when we had our call, you said to me, he said, are you tired? And I said, yes, with tears in my eyes. And I don't know if you've seen them or if my voice cracked or whatever, like, I'm fucking tired, you know, I'm tired. And so, Latasha, Lucas, Sarah, Bella, and Ivy, like, I get 5 people to help me now. You know, I had my transaction coordinator and she's amazing. I had my videographer and he's amazing. I have my person that was handling my email marketing. They're all amazing. But having my people in-house, they all understand real estate. This is what you said to me, and I will never forget it. And this is what I do. You said Your job is to go get the contract, upload the contract, and walk away. That's all I needed to hear. And that's what happens. Of course, they're going to ask me questions, or I may have to say, hey, can you do this or can you do that? Because I'm learning them and they're learning me. And Texarkana is a beast of its own.
Trust me, we're learning that as well.
Texarkana is different. The way we do things, the way we say things, the way we accept people, the way we deal with people is totally different. Because I'll tell you, and I mean, I'll tell you, you already heard me say it, and I'll tell everybody else. Listening to your guys make those phone calls. I told you, I said, if they were to call me, I'd hang up on them because we can't be that aggressive in my market. We will get hung up on. And Texarkana is so small, it's blasted all over social media and everybody knows. So just listening to them make the phone calls, it's different, you know. And I shared with you in our meeting that we had, I think it was in January, I don't remember, whatever meeting we had the last time where me and the other agent came. I heard you say, I mean, you were just talking about it. And I said, for the first time in my real estate career, I'm intimidated by this market. I'm not intimidated by Texarkana market at all. But this market up here, I'm super intimidated. I'm like, okay, I want to sell in Dallas, but I don't want to sell in Dallas. I want to sell in DFW, but I don't want to sell in DFW. But I'm going to sell in DFW just because it's different. And it's something for me to learn. It's a different market for me to learn. But I finally get it with having those 5 people. Plus, is it Clayton or Clinton? Clinton. I don't want to leave him out. Having all 6 of those people, including you, you're not in my back pockets. You're in my front pockets. I'm just behind you guys, and y'all are just carrying the load for me. And that makes a huge, huge difference.
Now we're talking about building a business.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to say it again. If you're in Texarkana, and I know you're going to be watching this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you got 145,000 people around there. This is going to get out. Reach out to Monica. Let's have a conversation about partnering with her and learning from her. Because if you're a new agent, maybe you're at another brokerage. That's okay. Let's have a conversation discreetly. I'd be happy to jump on a call with you. Sarah, our team leader, would be happy to jump on a call with you and show you the path that we can go down to helping change your life, selling real estate, and eventually investing in real estate, and then start wealth building. And then we talk about wealth preservation. You know, once you start owning enough properties, you know what the bad thing is?
What's that?
You don't have to pay taxes if you do it right.
You know, Chauncey told me. I was like, I need you to teach me the way, sister. Like, how do we rub elbows together?
Right.
Teach me the way. You know, it's crazy. And I want to say this too about the team. So I have a client right now that's under contract. We close on, I get to help 4 families tomorrow. Thank God. So she was like, listen, I don't know who these people are with the Good Home team or who Nick Good or whoever they are, but baby, let me tell you, they gonna stay in contact with you throughout the whole entire transaction. And she's like, I'm tired. I get this email about this. I get this email about that. And my clients aren't used to that. So I'm like, hey, listen, I'm still here, but this is my team and they're going to push this transaction forward and they're going to be able to do it 20 times better than I can because I'm all over the place. So they may call you, make sure you respond to them because they'll stop and say, who is Latasha? I was like, listen, Latasha is transaction coordinator, negotiation expert. She's on it. She's going to take care of it. Well, who is Nick? Why am I getting an email from Nick? And I'm like, this is Nick. You know, I'm having to explain. So now, before I hand them off per se, but they're still with me, before I hand them off, I explain everybody's role. You know, You're going to get a phone call or a text message from this person, or this person's going to reach out, or whatever the case is, but they're so spot on. And it's a relief. They're licensed people and I don't have to worry.
You're not worrying. You know what I learned is that people that aren't used to communication or over communication,
Mm-hmm.
that once they get it, they enjoy
Mm-hmm.
knowing what's going on. Because what I found is that most unhappy clients, if we look at the communication process, they got very little.
Mhm.
And so they were in the dark.
Right.
And no one likes to not know what's going on.
Mm-mm.
Right. And they want to know that their backside is
Absolutely.
covered, or that this comes up, that it gets handled.
Mhm.
And so that the number one goal is to get a seller to the closing table.
Mhm.
And I always use this when I was working with a lot of clients. I'd say, Monica, close your eyes for a second. Because when we get to that closing table, and you got a big old smile on your face.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Monica, what's going on? And you're picturing that big old check, like a publisher clearinghouse check, that
Right.
big one.
Yes.
And you're putting a ton of money in your pocket. And we were able to get it done in a quick amount of time, and hopefully very friction and stress-free.
Mhm.
And you're just super happy. And what I'm going to ask, Monica, is I'm going to ask for a couple things from you. I want to work with more people like you.
Absolutely.
I want you to scream from the rooftops, because, I want other people around here to know. I want your neighbors to know. I want your coworkers to know about me, because I want to be able to help more people just like you, because it was a pleasure working with you.
Right.
And if you could do me a favor, leave me a review and leave me a social media review, because again, we look at social media more than we watch TV now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen with you. That's going to happen with agent partners that come and partner with you there in Texarkana. And I have a goal right now. I really want us to build out the Arkansas side. This is my selfish ego side of taking this outside of Texas and crushing it in another state, because I know what you and that team and that business is going to be capable of. And then selfishly, I have a goal that for you, that we stand you alone as an operator eventually within place. And then you and I are running side by side together.
Wow.
And this becomes your business. And you're over here saying, you're over here doing the interviews because I'm tired. I don't want to do these interviews. I want you to do this, highlighting your agent partners.
Right.
And helping them build wealth.
Right.
So reach out to Monica. Thank you so much for coming in, because you drove into Dallas.
Yes.
And you're looking fly. You're looking good. And we're both, you're talking about food over there, and you're like, we're both hungry.
Starving.
Why'd you bring that up?
I don't know.
And reach out if you are thinking about buying or selling or want to invest in real estate. Get with Monica. She knows what the heck she's doing. And she's got access now to opportunities in Dallas. I know there's one here over by the Dallas Zoo. It matches the 1-to-1 rental criteria. So if you don't know what that is, I'll get with Monica. We'll teach you on that. You got money, invest. Monica's your girl. So reach out to her, comment down below, share this out, and just congratulate her.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.